Welcome to Danish-InfoNews TV on this special edition on politics and integration. The question is once again dominating headlines in Denmark. As public concern grows over Hizb ut-Tahrir's influence among young Muslims, particularly through social media, the political establishment is reviving efforts to legally dissolve the controversial organization. Backed by recent reports and rising public debate, the government parties are calling for new legal assessments, while experts warn of a broader integration crisis rooted in social control and ideological pressure. But can a constitutional democracy shut down an organization without violating its own principles? This special edition on politics and integration by Danish-InfoNews TV explores the legal framework, political stakes, and cultural implications of what could become one of the most defining freedom of association cases in modern Danish history. Government parties push to ban Hizb ut-Tahrir aimed growing concerns over social control and integration. July 29, 2025, Danish-InfoNews TV. In recent weeks, the Islamist organization Hizb ut-Tahrir has once again become the center of national debate following a series of critical reports from BT revealing the group's growing influence on young Muslims in Denmark, particularly through social media platforms like TikTok. The renewed attention has now prompted all three government parties, Social Democrats, Venstre, and the moderates, to signal their willingness to pursue a ban on the organization despite earlier legal assessments from the Director of Public Prosecutions deeming such a move unconstitutional. It is the Social Democrats' clear position that Hizb ut-Tahrir must be dissolved if it is at all legally possible, said acting political spokesperson Leah Wimmerlin. Our political desire is unambiguous. We would very much like to see the organization banned. Venstre and the moderates are going even further. Both parties have called for immediate legal evaluations and parliamentary discussions on how a ban could be implemented. Hizb ut-Tahrir is actively working to undermine our democratic values, said Venstre's Louisa Sack-Elholm. We want to quickly investigate whether it is legally feasible to dissolve the organization. Rosa Eriksson of the moderates added, "This organization damages integration and promotes anti-democratic views." Some of its members have even praised violent acts, including the attack on Israel on October 7, 2023. There is no good reason to allow such a group to operate in Denmark. Freedom of association and the legal path to a ban. In Denmark, freedom of association is a constitutionally protected right enshrined in Section 78 of the Danish Constitution. This means that citizens are free to form associations for any lawful purpose without prior approval from the state. However, banning a group like Hizb ut-Tahrir requires meeting specific and strict legal criteria. A ban cannot be imposed directly by the government. It must be decided by the courts. Grounds for dissolving an association. According to the Constitution, an association can be dissolved by court ruling if one or both of the following conditions are met. Unlawful purpose. 78 subsection 1. If the association's actual activities, not just its stated goals, are proven to be unlawful. Use of violence or incitement to violence, 78 subsection 2, if the association operates by or seeks to achieve its goals through violence, incitement to violence or similar criminal means against those who think differently. These provisions are designed to prevent violent or extremist groups from operating under the guise of legitimate associations. Legal procedure for a ban. Preliminary ban. In exceptional cases, the government, typically the Minister of Justice, may issue a temporary ban. Lawsuit for dissolution. If a preliminary ban is issued, the government must immediately file a lawsuit requesting the dissolution of the association. The final decision rests with the judiciary. Judicial review. The case may go through the District Court, High Court, and potentially the Supreme Court, especially when it concerns politically sensitive associations. Past attempts and legal precedents. Debate over banning Hizb ut-Tahrir in Denmark is not new. The Director of Public Prosecutions previously reviewed the legal basis for a ban in 2004 and 2008, concluding in both cases that there was insufficient evidence to justify dissolution under constitutional standards. Authorities could not prove that the organization had an unlawful purpose or operated by violent means. Meanwhile, Hizb ut-Tahrir remains banned in several countries, including Germany, the UK, and multiple Muslim majority states. Still, legal standards and constitutional protection differ from country to country. Despite these setbacks, the political desire to explore a ban has persisted, often citing the group's anti-democratic rhetoric and its alleged influence on extremism and social division. A landmark legal precedent emerged in 2021 when the Danish Supreme Court ordered the dissolution of the Gang Loyal to Familia, LTF, the first such ruling in nearly a century. In that case, the court found that LTF systematically engaged in violence and threats as part of its core activities, thereby meeting the conditions for dissolution under Law 78. Legal experts note that this case may influence future actions against Hizb ut-Tahrir by refining the standards for what constitutes an unlawful purpose and criminal influence. Social media haram messaging and social control. The latest controversy was sparked by viral TikTok videos from Aqil Abu Osama, a prominent Hizb ut-Tahrir member whose real name is Sebastian Osterfeldt. His videos, which reached tens of thousands, claim that riding in a graduation truck studentenkursel is haram or forbidden for Muslims because men and women celebrate together in ways allegedly contrary to Islamic teachings. Integration experts have raised alarm about what they see as a form of negative social control. Many young people from these communities want to participate but fear being ostracized or labeled as bad Muslims, said Henry Cockborg of Integrations Info. When Danish social experiences are rejected out of fear, we have a real integration problem. Islam scholar Thomas Hoffman echoed these concerns. This is a textbook example of traditional conservative religiosity used to control behavior. It encourages segregation and fosters an active rejection of the broader Danish society, he said. Summary: a legal and political crossroads. In order for Hizb ut-Tahrir to be banned in Denmark, it must be proven in court that the organization either has an unlawful purpose, such as promoting criminal behavior, or operates through violence or incitement against others. Such a case would require an expensive legal process and strong evidence, with the burden of proof resting on the prosecution. As legal proof and political negotiations move forward, Denmark may be approaching a pivotal point in its efforts to define the boundaries between religious freedom, freedom of association, and national democratic values. Where law, culture, and national values collide. The renewed push to ban Hizb ut-Tahrir sits at the intersection of legal precedent, constitutional freedom, and the defense of democratic norms. While past attempts have failed in court, shifting political priorities and new legal interpretations may open a narrow path toward a ban, if sufficient evidence can be presented. Whether this effort succeeds or not, it reflects a deeper societal struggle, how to balance pluralism with cohesion, and how to respond to ideologies that reject the very foundation of democracy. As the government moves forward with legal and parliamentary inquiries, all eyes are now on the justice system to determine where Denmark draws the line. This has been a special edition on politics and integration from Danish-InfoNews TV. Stay with us for continued coverage on these and related national issues.